This now the Quick Speed Shop. Check it out, a heater box. We're back working on the tin grill Dodge. I got some more interior stuff installed. We're going to be stripping out the original truck cab and putting things like the heater box in, pedals, and a bunch of other things. Taking a look at where we're going there. So we're going to start right now. It's Dodge Day. Once again, I love this truck. Let's put it together. Hey guys, we're back at it here on the Dodge. And I've been working on cab stuff, putting the interior back together. So I'm about ready to install the heater box here, which I've completely disassembled. I hosed it all off, and then the part that sticks to the firewall, the gasket was shot. Now they sell replacement gasket kits for this. I have the gasket for the centerpiece. It's kind of alright. The firewall gasket, the whole gasket set's like $70, which just seems a little steep to me for just some foam. So what I'm going to do, well, first of all, let me show you the firewall here, and then I'll go outside and show you the original truck cab. So you see the hole here, I've got like an angle here and like a high spot. I'm going to guess maybe this truck was an air conditioning truck. I don't know. All this stuff was gone. Probably was. And the original cab was not AC. And we'll go outside. You'll look, this piece is different. The hole is different. But the heater box should work. I just need to drill 2 holes. See here where the paint is scratched. It's where the one stud hit. It fits here. The other stud goes here on the firewall. So I got to drill 2 holes real fast, so then we can start putting the heater box back in. And I see on the original truck how the hole is pretty much a rectangle here. There's not that weird corner. It's flat across the top. It doesn't have a hump in it. So we can start putting this all back in here. I tested the heater core. I filled it up with water after I flushed it and left it sit with water in the tubes. It held water for a couple hours, so the heater core is good. And as soon as we put this in, we can start getting ready to put the dashboard back in. I ordered my paint, my SEM paint to restore it, and I just got to scuff it real fast, paint the top black. Oh no, I still don't have masking tape. Dang it! It's the ultimate fail. I keep forgetting to get masking tape. Anyways, let's look over here then. The dashboard, when I disassembled it last time, some of these pins for the controller had broke off, and my buddy at work here, he went and we soldered all these back together with his soldering iron and his little thing. We got that going there. So soldered all them back on. So this goes on here like this. So all the nuts are on there, but that's the backer board for the gauges. I still want to take the instrument cluster apart and clean it up. You can take the plastic off, clean all the gauges up. Oh, I'm dumping pieces. Where'd that go? Oh no. Fail. Oh, right here. There we go. Lost all the pieces. Showing off. Alright. So anyways, I got to clean that up. Then that can go back in the dash. Once I get the dash painted. Okay, I drilled the holes here that I need, and I test fit the panel, and it fits good. So, like I said, I don't have the foam gasket that goes around here, but I think I have a solution. I've got this window weld dum-dum for like putting in window glass, and it's butyl, roll of butyl. I think what I'm going to do is my head in the shot. Get this out of the way. I need some kind of weatherproof seal to the firewall here. And the foam, when I washed it off with the hose and I was cleaning a piece off, I noticed the foam got completely saturated and there was rust up here from mouse nests and water. So that foam wasn't really water. It's, not waterproof, so it'd get wet and hold moisture in here. But I think this butyl tape, if I put butyl tape all the way around here, it'll mush and seal the, the box to the metal and make a waterproof seal. So I'm going to just take this and kind of like roll it right around the where we got to be here. Oops, it's sticky. And just we'll seal it up with butyl tape. Use that for the gasket surface. Around the bolts here. This one I can come over here because it's I should go up here. But this should work out good. It should seal up good. seal the plastic box right to the firewall, no problem. Because then you peel the tape off the back side and we'll have exposed butyl action. Okay, let's stab this guy in here. Aha. Got rusty hardware to reinstall. Awesome. I had to change a couple of bolts out. The studs were rusty, so I replaced them with some stainless steel bolts, and that's going to be a trick. I put some anti-seize on everything so we can anti-seize our way into action, but this butyl should work. Should be golden. They got these stupid sheet metal clips to like hold the hardware, and they suck, and they're pinched up above here. I got to fight with this. I had a hell of a time getting it out. I got to fight with the clips and get them in there, but I'll bolt this all down and we'll put the rest of the box together. Okay, got the box all screwed down. I had to use a couple stainless steel nuts to replace it. I put the blower motor back in. One thing I noticed is this vent for the blower motor went to a hole in the cowl on the 80 truck, which the 88 cab here doesn't have, so I got to tape this off with some masking tape and hole saw a hole in that so I can stick the blower vent in there. Just lets it suck air to cool the blower motor. I took some extra butyl and I made a seal all the way around, pushed it in with the paper it comes on so your finger doesn't stick to it too bad. Got it sealed all the way up good. This thing is mounted up nice. So now I'm on the inside. I'm ready to put the heater core in. These sheet metal panels here, like around the blower motor, and then this one goes over the blend door. These are just bare metal when the truck, in any truck they come in there. So I just rattle can them flat black just to put a little bit of rust protection on them. They actually still had some bare metal showing from 43 years of being bare metal in there, which I was surprised, but it was still bare. So I'm going to get the blend door, which goes here for the blend cable. I'll put that in. We'll put this panel on. We've got the heater core here, which is glued into this panel. I already said, like I said, I pressure tested it, or not pressure tested, I put liquid in it and it doesn't leak. So we'll stick the heater core back in, we'll put this panel in, and then we can put the outer part of the heater box all together with the screws, and we should be completely ready to rock and roll here with our heater box installation. All right, here's a blend door with a gasket. The gasket has tiny little mouse chewings on it, but it's going to be okay for what I'm doing. And it goes like that, and it just turns with the cable to open and close your action. Actually, let me put a little anti-seize on here just to lube her up where it's going to pivot. That's good, and then this panel simply, there's little sheet metal clips. There's one there. Need that. This just kind of lays in here like this, and then this little sheet metal clip over here goes back on. I want to say there was another sheet metal clip, but I don't see it right now. I think there's one that goes down here to hold that. But anyways, wait a minute, do I have it here? Yes, I do. It goes down, I think, like here. Help hold that together. And then we'll take a couple of our screws, and they go into here. Boom, so that's installed. Now the heater core goes like this. Presses in here like this. Boom. Is there any screws that hold that in? Should have taken better pictures of this when I disassembled it, but I didn't because I was kind of in a hurry. That was a mistake. I think that goes there. Boom. All right, so that's installed. That just kind of floats like that. Now there is a gasket that I have most of the remnants of. This is the gasket for the, it goes on here, I believe, like this. Yeah. It's a little worse for wear, but it actually it was off in the factory. I can see where it was slid out from when they put it together at the factory. That's kind of odd, but it goes kind of like that. Just kind of lays in there like that. This goes like this. I'm gonna get a piece of electrical tape and just kind of tape that in there. But that's the gasket for the cover. And now that's installed, I can go to get the cover and just slap the cover back on. This is the fan wire. I just hung it up here to get it out of the way. This plugs into the fan controls of the dash, but I just hung it up here out of the way for now. Now I'll show you one thing that is a trouble with old vehicles. See this heater resistor here for the fan switch? I actually had a truck burn up because I went to buy it from a guy who was actually buying a truck back from a guy, and he started it up and there was a mouse nest in the heater box and it actually caught the whole truck on fire under the hood and inside the cab. Kind of spoiled it because that resistor got hot because the heater was on and it was a disaster. This guy just kind of goes kirk, just like that. Go ahead and get a screw here. This is 1,000 times better. All the mouse nests was sitting on top of this under the dash in the truck. Stank, freaking mouse leavings, all kinds of crap. It was awful. Terrible. We got her. In. Now there is two, if you guys are doing this at home, there's two long ones that go inside the box. You got to get your hand in here. They screw through the heater core plate and everything into the firewall. There's these two real long ones. I don't know why they're long, but they are, and they're a pain to get to. And if you don't know they're there, you'll be looking and struggling, trying to figure out why you can't get the heater box cover off. Ask me how I know. And then you got to look in that vent door, and you'll discover that there's two screws in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and run the 8 bajillion screws into this, and the fan control, I think the fan control wire, plugs right onto here. Boom, and then your other high-low controls are over here. That's like that. The blend valve, the blend door cable, I have to drill one hole through the firewall, goes through here, which you probably can't see from the camera. That controls the valve in the heater hose to open and close the heater hose valve. That goes through there, and then the other cable for the blend door attaches on over here. These are your ductwork for the defrosters, and then this is a heater door you can open and close. Mice love to get in there as well. All right, so a couple days later here, I'm outside in the cab, and I'm going to take the pedal assembly out. I've got to unbolt the brake pedal from the brake rod actuator master cylinder. It's a 3/4 and 11/16. Already bust them loose here, and then there's a shaft that goes through the carrier here that holds the brake and the clutch pedal, so that should come right out. Oh. Still haven't sourced a booster for this. I'm looking for a reman one. This one is rusty. It might work, but it seems awful rusty on the bottom. Ooh, there's a special bolt here for that. It's got a little O-ring on it or something. Maybe for rattle, I don't know. All right, that's the brake. The clutch should hang. Where's the clutch rod? Clutch rod is already off. All right, so then on the side here, there's like a little end cap deal welded to the pin with a 3/8 headed bolt. Oh, and a nut. Are you serious? All right, there's a nylock nut on it. Hold on a minute. I gotta go get a wrench. I'm gonna give you a pro tip. I've got yellow jacket infestations in my roof of my garage and in something I just found on my porch. And Tractor Supply Company is out of the good bee spray. Here's a tip. Don't buy your bee spray at the Dollar General, because I bought 2 cans of it and I sprayed the yellow jackets in my eave in my garage, and all it did was wash them down. They're all still up there and they're all still flying around. It didn't do a darn thing. So don't buy the bee spray from Dollar General. It's worthless. So now that pin is there. Can I push it? How does it work? There's a plastic bushing in the clutch pedal and it's awful tight on here. I'm using brass to beat on this. And it doesn't want to go. Man. Doesn't want to go. It's deforming the end of it here. That's going, I guess. Here it comes. Here it comes. Aha. There's our clutch pedal there. Just got a little bit of surface roughs in the plastic bushing. Here comes our brake pedal. Boom. All right. Well, got them. Let's go put them back in the other truck. All right, I cleaned the pin up with some Scotch-Brite and greased it all up. Let's go ahead and just reinstall here. Is my head in the way? I can't see nothing. Boom. Here's the brake pedal. Comes the clutch. Boom. There we go. Nobody will ever know. They're going to know. They're not going to know. They're going to know. So I still need to drill a hole in the, where is it? Somewhere the hole for the clutch linkage goes through. Oh, over here somewhere. I got to make a pattern off the other firewall. But we got our pedals installed. I'll put the little bolt in there and then I'll switch over the, actually I don't have the master cylinder yet because the boosters, I haven't got the booster. I'm going to pull that out next. I probably won't install that again right now because I want to see if I can find a new booster, but now we can get the, I'm still waiting on my paint for the dashboard. That hasn't come in yet either. Darn it. Well, I'll get the dashboard scuffed and ready for paint. All right, now for a standard shift Dodge, there's a plate right here that bolts into the floor, and it reinforces the sheet metal of the floor for the clutch Z-bar link, which bolts underneath the cab. And if you have an automatic cab like this, I should have waited to put the pedals in because now they're in the way. But there's dimples in the floor here. 1, 2, 3. There's one over here, 4, and there's one up here, 5. And it's for the 5 bolts here. So you drill out the dimples to 3/8, and then that plate bolts right in there between the pedals and it's got through bolts. I had to put one bolt in because one was broke off. This one must have been broke off too. But this is a plate to reinforce the floor for the Z-bar linkage, which I have somewhere. I can't locate it right this second, but the studs stick through here under the floor down here, and then the Z-bar bolts on. It goes on your pivot bolt here on your bell housing, and then the clutch rod comes through here. I think there's a boot. I still got to drill the hole in the firewall for that, but I can, what I'm going to do is just take my drill all these indents out to 3/8, and then the plate will bolt on here. I'm not going to install the plate right now until after I use the Herculiner on the floor. I'll Herculiner underneath it, and then I'll bolt it down, and then I'll Herculiner on top of it for coverage. But I'm going to drill them out. I'm going to get the emergency brake bracket. We'll bolt on here. I got to get a new front cable, so I'll just bolt the pedal in for now. I'll put the vent in over here. All right, it's a couple hours later. I had an emergency situation. I found a cabinet, wooden cabinet on my porch full of yellow jackets, a huge nest. And I had to go deal with that. I had to wait for it to get dark, and then I strapped it and got it on my tractor and sealed them in with some plywood. And I probably should have filmed it, but it was in the dark and I didn't want to die. And got them out in the yard, flipped the cabinet down, and filled it full of gasoline. So hopefully the gas fumes have killed them. Tomorrow I'm going to burn it, but for now they can suck on gas fumes. So we're going to finish up the video right now in the cab of the truck. I went and, we hung the pedals. I stuck the speedometer cable through here. I drilled the holes for that thing I said, the bracket for the floor. And let's finish up here. The emergency brake. I got the emergency brake out of the original truck here, and I painted it up because they only dipped the pedal in black and the rest of it's bare metal. So I painted it. I go to install it. Check this out. Boom, the 2 holes in the firewall. What in the world? It don't line up. Come on, you're killing me. So I just happen to have the one for this cab. But unfortunately, let's see if I can show this. So this one, the original one, it's got like a barrel switch here. The wire goes on like a little barrel thing. And it fits like this, about there. The handle is here mounted to it. And you see the pedals right here. So I'm going to guess they changed the design because they changed the dashboard in 81 and up. And so this new one, the hole in the floor in the cab is the same, but this one attaches differently. And it's got a different arm, which attaches the dash, but it's lower than this, so I don't know, the dash is different, obviously, in 81. So this guy goes here, and obviously attaches where it's supposed to be, but when you... the release is way down here. Maybe it's in an angle like this. Anyways, it's up by the dash somehow. But look at the height of the pedal for that versus the height of the pedal for this. If I can... Oh, come on now. If I can hold them both up at the same time. See the difference in the pedal there? This one's way up in the air. The handle's up there differently. The cable is different because it's got a longer mount from here to there, which is fine. I can get the cable for either one. But I think with the 80 dash, this is going to be mounting. It's going to be an issue. And the font is different. This is different. And this is way up in the air. I don't understand that. So I don't want to get it all on here and find out that it's that far from the bottom of the dashboard. So I really don't want to use the 88 one, which goes to this cab. I really want to use the original 80 one. So if I put this here, I can still use the cable. I get an 80 cable. The handle is mounted here. All I got to do is make a sheet metal or a 1/8 inch tab, put it on the stud, and come over here and put a bolt through this and mount that upper end. And then I can use the 80 one. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've already painted it all black too. You can see, like I said, they just dip it in paint where it's going to show, and they leave it bare metal up under the dashboard. And this has got a different switch connector, which I'd have to change and all that. So I can make this work just with a little bit of adapter action, and it'll have the correct emergency brake that will probably be at the same height as the clutch pedal. It'll look like factory there. It'll match. The pedals are the same, but the rubber is the same. Even up on this one, it's the same. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get that mounted up with a little tab. But I've had enough excitement for one day with the bees and all that stuff, so that took up a lot of my time. Plus I did some outside work because the weather's good today. So that's all we're going to do in this video, is just do a little interior work. But we are working on the Dodge. I pulled a bunch of other stuff out of the original cab. I got the seat belts out. They can go in. And here I got the wire run for the cargo light up there in the cab. Interior light, I got that run. So everything is good. The heater box is installed. I got the Z-bar linkage out. Apparently I didn't paint that, so I got to paint that here. That is for the clutch. That bolts into that piece. It goes something like this on there. And then that bracket bolts into that piece through the floor. This must get another hole in the firewall there. Did I just scratch the paint? Probably. Oh well. So that's going to bolt on. And that's your Z-bar linkage for the clutch there. So I got to deal with that still. I'll get this painted up. Ah, get out of there. No. Come on now. There we go. I'll get that painted up. I've still got to scuff the dash up, get that painted. As soon as I get the paint on that, I can get the dash installed. The master cylinder, like I said, the booster is routed, so I'm going to look for that. I'm going to hold off on that, but I want to get the dash put in, put the steering column in, figure out how my steering shaft's going to attach. Then I can do the plug wires and stuff, then the inner fenders and the core support, get all that together, start slamming the front end together, and then the truck is really going to come together fast. I have an idea. I'm going to actually, this was going to be a flatbed for a while, but I got looking. I am going to put the original box sides back on, so it will be a step side once again. And I have some fenders for it I found in the back. They're junkyard fenders. They're banged up in green, but they will work. So I'm going to slap them on, probably paint them black, flat black, and tie in, maybe make a flat black stripe up and over the rear fenders to kind of tie it together. So the original step side box and original paint will be on it, but I also wanted to have my dump box, but I got measuring the dump box, and it might fit inside the step side box, so I can still use that. I'm undetermined at this time, but I've got an idea what I want to do. So we're going to do all that, build the box. I got an idea how to mount it and everything, make a new floor. So I'll get the original box. This truck will have all the original sheet metal on the outside of it, except for the cab, and it will look just like it did before I took it apart. So that's it. I got to go. It's super late. I got to go and eat something. And we'll come out and we'll start another video tomorrow. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to do all the things. Subscribe, do the comments, love them, thumbs up, like, send rocket ships in the air, whatever you got to do. Leave me a comment. We'll see you next time. Bam. There it is. Working on the big old dent side. Not dent side, it's the step side. The big old step side tin grill Dodge.